We recently returned from a 14-night Mediterranean cruise on the Sun Princess. Princess's 1-year-old sphere-class vessel. I want to share that experience with you. So let's get into it. Welcome, I'm Sean Whent. I'm your host here at the Whent There Cruising Channel. And today is our cruise review of the 14-night Mediterranean cruise that we just took. So we embarked this in Athens, or Piraeus, the port for Athens, and went to numerous stops in Italy and France and Montenegro and Gibraltar and Spain, and ultimately wound up back in Italy at the port of Civitavecchia, the port for Rome. So I want to break down our experiences on board and let you know what we thought. So we'll break it into various categories. We'll start at the beginning, which of course is embarkation. So we embarked at the port of Piraeus. It was very, very seamless. We took a taxi to the port. They park in a large parking lot, and you get out and bring your bags up to the check-in spot, into the tent to get your check-in process, and then through security and on board. But from the time of getting out of the taxi to actually walking on board the ship, I don't think was more than maybe 15 minutes. It was a very seamless process. Now, we already had our medallions, so it was a little quicker, but some folks that we were traveling with did not have their medallions. They had to go through the blue line, and they weren't more than 10 minutes behind us. So it was very, very quick, really one of the easiest embarkation processes I've had anywhere. I did a video specifically on the embarkation and disembarkation, a kind of a walkthrough video. If you are interested in seeing what that looked like there in Greece and Rome, you can take a look at that. I'll leave a link down below to that other video. But embarkation, very easy. I would give it a 10 out of 10. Excellent. So then we made it to our cabin. We were in cabin 14260. It's a mid-forward cabin, obviously on deck 14. It did have a balcony. And it's a great cabin, right? So these new sphere-class vessels have a full couch in all the balconies, and it has a shower door as opposed to the dreaded shower curtain. Balcony was decent size. The room was, obviously it's not roomy. It's a cruise ship room, but it's big enough for 2 people. It might get crowded if you put more than that in there. We found ample power outlets in the room, including USB-Cs on each side of the bed. And the bed itself was extremely comfortable. So that was a win. Really, it was very, very good all around. And my only critique, of course, would be that it is a little tight, right? They're not roomy. Oh, but as a bonus, my wife wanted to point out that they have a dry bar hair dryer. I don't know what that means. Apparently, that's a thing, though. I guess if you know, you know. I guess that's a positive thing. All right. But overall, I would say 8 out of 10 on the cabin, and only marking it down really just due to being, it's a little tight. How about service on board? Well, I guess overall I'd say service was good, but let's break it down. Our cabin steward, his name was John. Awesome, phenomenal, really excellent. I've never had a bad one on Princess, but he was right up there with the best of them. And I actually saw John less than I see my other cabin stewards, but every time we did run into him, he was friendly and he was very fast. The room was well taken care of. Perfect service there. How about at the bars, though? So the bars, I would say, better than on most other Princess ships I've been to. They do a little bit differently. They usually have one person taking orders and other people making drinks, and which establishes a true line. And then you don't get the long bar, people walking up, well, I was here before that guy, or I was here before that guy. No, there's a line, and generally pretty quick. I don't think I waited more than, at the most, probably 6-7 minutes or so for drinks. But most cases, it was just a couple minutes and I had my drink and I was on my way. So really better bar service than you get on most ships. Very good. How about dining? This is where service slipped a little, though. So I would say even pool deck dining, if you're trying to get hot dogs or burgers or something like that, it could take a little while. But service, like in the dining rooms, it was fine. People were friendly, but in the dining rooms, it was slow. Dinner took quite a long time every night. And even in the specialty dinings, usually I found that the specialty dining kind of goes a little bit quicker. Not in this case. The specialty dining was pretty slow as well. Now, it wasn't bad service, and it wasn't to the point where I was like, what's going on here? It was just a little slower pace than I'm used to. So not necessarily the best service in the dining rooms. It was fine. Where I did get decent service was from the app. So you can order food in the app, you can order drinks in the app. And the times, I didn't do it very often, but the times I did it, my order came relatively quickly. I got drinks probably within 10 minutes, food usually within 20 minutes. And I've had cruises in the past where the app has told me the food has been delivered or the drink's been delivered and it never showed up. That did not happen to me on this one. So I actually got decent service when I was ordering through the Ocean Now program. The one place on board where I was really, I guess, disappointed with service was guest services. I had to go down there 2 times for various issues. And even though I have elite status and I can go right to the front of the line, the elite line, it still took a while. They didn't even call me in the elite line one time. They kept calling other people. So, and one time they weren't even able to resolve what I needed done. So I think the service in guest services was probably some of the worst service I had on board. But overall, service was pretty good. So I would give it a 7 out of 10. How about dining on board? Well, dining's obviously a big thing when you're cruising, right? So how about dining? Well, okay, let's talk about the food. We'll start at the eatery, right? The main buffet on board on deck 9. The food was pretty good. I don't know that I had anything exceptional while I was there. I did really enjoy their cinnamon rolls they make for breakfast, but other than that, pretty average buffet food. It was good, just, not a home run. Food from the promenade deck, food from the Lido deck, also pretty good. I really like Princess's hot dogs, but their pizza on deck isn't bad there. So that's pretty above average pool deck food, I would say, as well. Main dining food, it was fine. It was good food, but it wasn't great. I don't remember any meal in the main dining being anything particularly memorable where I had to write home about, but it was fine. In the specialty dinings, the food was very, very good. We did do Catch by Rudy one night. I had the land and sea meal, very good. We did Crown Grill one night. Crown Grill has always been excellent. Great steaks at the Crown Grill. No complaints from there at all. We did do Butcher's Block by Dario, which was probably the best meal we had on board. Obviously, it's heavily meat-centric, but just really phenomenal food. It was our favorite meal of the entire trip. Absolute home run there at Butcher's Block by Dario. The meal that was not particularly good was the Spellbound dining experience. So they start you off with a drink that has like a cucumber foam, and it was outright nasty. And unfortunately, the meal didn't get a whole lot better from there. And this wasn't just my opinion. I'm looking around the room at people sending back drinks, sending back largely full plates of food. I just did not think that dining experience was very good. Now, reportedly on the Star Princess coming up, they're going to retain Spellbound, which I'll talk about in a bit, but the dining experience will not be part of it. That's probably a good thing. It was certainly not worth the price that you paid to have that dining experience. And then we were also able to get into Umai Teppanyaki. We weren't able to get a reservation in advance, but on the last night of the cruise, we were actually able to get in there. There were some no-shows. We were able to get a seat, and it was a great experience. Our server, Victor, just excellent chef. Food was wonderful. It was a fun experience. I can't recommend it enough. Obviously, it's limited seating, but if you can get into Umai Teppanyaki, it's great. What we did not get a chance to try in this one was the Umai Hot Pot, nor did we get into Sabatini's or Loved by Brito. And I booked dining reservations a year in advance, and I couldn't get a dining reservation at Loved by Brito. So that's definitely a tricky one to get, but we'll make sure we try and get into that one on the next one. So overall, we were pretty happy. There's some great experiences in dining, some not as good, but overall, we're pretty happy. I'd give it a 7 out of 10 in the dining. How about entertainment on board? Well, lots of entertaining things to do on board, so let's break it down, right? So starting with the stage shows, we did see 2 different stage shows. We saw Viva la Musica, which of course is a Latin music one, lots of popular songs that you would recognize, well done, great stage production, really good. We saw another show in the theater that was in the Theater of the Round. We were able to get ground floor seats for that one. We were in the front row and just feet away from where the performers were. I actually tucked my legs back in. I was afraid I was going to trip a performer. That's how close we were. So that was just phenomenal to see it from that experience. So the stage productions were really, really good. Now, other things we saw in the theater or Princess Live, we did see some comedians, one in Princess Live, one in the main theater, main arena. The Princess Live comedian was very funny. The one we saw in the arena, it was okay. Some decent jokes, but nothing really that great. There are various musical acts they do in the piazza or in lounges. So in the piazza, there was a group called Pinnacle there multiple times, high energy duo, male, female. singers and just really get the crowd going. They were really excellent. We did see a violinist there in the piazza that she was very good as well. There are no crooners though in crooners. Because of where the piazza is, or the activity they do in the piazza, they're unable to use the crooners bar for actually singing. So that's unfortunate, because I do like those small entertainment venue singers. What they did have that was phenomenal was the O'Malley's Irish Pub and the Irish Pub band or duo there in there, band called Fan Namara. Wonderful. I saw them so many times on this trip, I think I might qualify for an Irish passport at this point. They were excellent. Can't recommend them highly enough. Phenomenal. There were deck parties on board, so they're obviously up on the pool deck. We went to one night, and it was a good. They had 2 different DJs out there playing music. The crowd wasn't real big, and I think that detracted from the experience somewhat. But it looked like definitely a fun thing. It was fun to be out there. It would have been really good if we had more people, but that was well done. We did see multiple game shows on board and multiple trivias. And by and large, they were a lot of fun. We did see the marriage match game show. That was good. We watched Deal or No Deal one day. Saw the Yes No game show, and they're always entertaining to go to. By and large, the cruise director staff is pretty good. They had one guy on there, I won't mention his name, that was absolutely atrocious. He should be fired. I actually stopped going to events that after probably the 3rd one I had been to that he was running. I wouldn't go to any more with him again. But the actual cruise directors themselves, we had 2 different ones over the 14-night cruise. The first week was Cole. It's actually the 3rd time I've had Cole on a Princess ship. He is the best cruise director in their fleet. He is awesome, so great, but he went on vacation the 2nd week, and we had Giuseppe come in, and Giuseppe was really good as well, but he's just not in the same league as Cole. So by and large, the staff there was pretty good, with obviously the one exception. So they put on some entertaining events. It's fun to go to them. Another experience that was very good on board was the Spellbound experience. Now, I talked about the miss on the dinner half, but the actual theater portion that comes up after it was wonderful. They take you in, there's a pre-show with some props and stuff, and then they take you in to the lounge area where there's a bar and there's a piano that plays itself, and you can request songs. And I actually requested a Pink Floyd song. It played on the piano. I mean, it was really pretty cool. They serve some really amazing drinks there with like a chest that opens up with the steam coming out and everything. Really a magical looking thing. Then from there, they take you into the actual theater itself with a really good magician there. So the Spellbound experience was really neat. And I guess on the new ship, it's going to be without the dinner. So that's a win. It's going to be cheaper, and you're not going to have that atrocious dinner. So Spellbound was a lot of fun. So entertainment on board, really pretty good overall. So I would give it an 8 out of 10 on the entertainment. We did have the opportunity to go to the spa on board. We only went one time. We did not get enclave access like we have done sometimes, but we did do a couples massage one day, and it was very, very well done. We enjoyed it thoroughly. It's pretty hard to have a bad massage, but it was wonderful. But what I really liked is they didn't try and sell us a bunch of junk after. Usually, they want to sell you lotions and potions or Lord knows what else it is. I don't need that junk. No, thank you. And they did not do the hard sell on this whatsoever. We did our massage and we were able to leave. It was a wonderful experience from start to finish. So I would give the spa a 10 out of 10. It was wonderful. How about the tech on board? Tech on board overall pretty good, right? Princess has the medallion. You can use it to enter your room. You can use it to get on and off the ship. You can use it to purchase things. And you can use it for the ocean now, right? So you can order things and have it delivered to where your medallion is. Great experience. So it worked flawlessly on board. No complaints there. We did use the internet while on board and largely found it great. My wife likes to stream TikTok and whatever things and was able to do it largely without an issue. I mean, there were a couple points in there where it was a little slow, but by and large, I would say the Wi-Fi was very good. I think they do have the Starlink internet on board. And so the Wi-Fi access was, nearly as good as you'd get at home. I'd give it a 9 out of 10. The ship design itself, overall pretty neat. We really do like some elements of the new Sphere class ship. And I was skeptical getting on, but overall positive. There were a few little misses in there. I actually have a video about this, the hits and misses of the Sun Princess. It's really an analysis of the ship itself. And I'll leave a link to that video down below, but I'd give it an 8 out of 10. It's a beautiful ship. It's a Mediterranean cruise, right? So it's a lot about the ports and the excursions. And so this one Did go to a number of amazing ports like Barcelona and Gibraltar and La Spezia, where you get to go to the Leaning Tower. The La Sagrada Familia in Barcelona was incredible. We went to a winery in Crete. Just really amazing places. So much history. It was amazing to get to see it all. I'm putting together a video of walkthroughs for all the excursions that we did on board. They were predominantly princess excursions, and for the most part, really, really excellent. A couple little minor things cropped up, but I'll talk about that in that video. Overall, it was amazing to get to see some of these places. Real bucket list trip, right? Getting to go some of these really historical, ancient places and just see the history and just so much culture. It was incredible. 9 out of 10 on the ports. Just wonderful. Well, that brings us pretty close to the end, which means disembarkation. So we disembarked in Civitavecchia. I'm probably not pronouncing that right, but that's the port for Rome. We were getting off the ship to get directly onto a bus to go to FCO Airport. And from the time that our group got called, which was right about on schedule, to getting off the ship and then being down into the terminal where we were able to get our bags and walking out to get the bus, 10 minutes probably, and no backups anywhere. It was all really seamless. There isn't like a customs like you go through when you get off a ship in the United States. So really a super fast process. And there were about 3,700 people getting off the ship that day. So I thought maybe with that many people, it would be a little more backed up. Not at all. Very well handled, very well done by the crew there on the Sun Princess. So overall, this was a really excellent cruise. Tallying all those scores up in those 10 categories, it comes out to an 86 out of 100. That's a solid B, right? Now, the memories will last absolutely forever, and most of the little things I talked about that were less than perfect were really pretty small things. There were no major issues. So it was a wonderful cruise. We can't wait to go back. Great job by everybody there on the Sun Princess, except for that one guy in the entertainment group. But really well done overall. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you found it useful, please like the video. And if you like cruise content, please subscribe. We do want to be your source for cruise content. We do cruise ship reviews. We do cruise ship walkthroughs. We do cruise news, cruise tips. We want to be your source. Please subscribe. Doesn't cost anything. We'd love to have you on the ride here with us. Until we see you next time, we do wish you smooth sailing. Take care.